Hi guys and welcome back to Jordy and Sam, and in today's video we'll be doing round 7 footy tips. So without any further ado, let's get started.
We've got a bit of a crazy week for footy this week. Obviously it starts on Wednesday and then 2 games on a Thursday. So crazy week for footy, but first one on Wednesday is Melbourne versus Richmond. I think this one's pretty obvious. I'm going to tip Melbourne. I think they'll win this one by 40-50 points.
The first game of the round is Richmond vs Melbourne at the MCG. I'm tipping Melbourne.
Next we have the normal Anzac Day game where Collingwood will play Essendon. I think this one could be a good game. Obviously both teams fighting for the 8, but I think Collingwood are better, and I have them winning this one by 24 points.
The first game on Anzac Day is Essendon vs Collingwood at the MCG. Now both these teams won last week, but I'm tipping Collingwood.
Next we have GWS versus Brisbane. This is a Thursday night game. I think that GWS will win this one. I think, well, they only lost to Carlton last week. That's their only loss for the year. And Brisbane have looked very, very shaky. So I will be tipping GWS to win this one.
The second game on Anzac Day is GWS vs Brisbane. I'm not quite sure where this game is, but I'm tipping GWS.
Friday night, we have Port versus St Kilda. I'm going to tip Port. Obviously not the best game against Collingwood, but St Kilda didn't play too good against the Western Bulldogs either. I'm going to tip Port by 24 points.
The only game on Friday night is Port Adelaide versus St Kilda at Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide lost, and I think St Kilda lost too. I'm not quite sure, can't quite remember. But I'm going to tip Port Adelaide because it's a home game, but I actually think that St Kilda might actually win this game. I'm just saying.
The Crows versus North Melbourne. I'm not sure if the Crows have played too good a footy this year. North Melbourne have obviously not done anything good either, but it's away for the Crows in Tasmania. I'm going to tip the Crows to win this one.
The first game on Saturday is North Melbourne versus Adelaide at Bloodstone Arena. So I think this is in Tasmania. I'm going to tip Adelaide.
Next we have Geelong versus Carlton. I think it's at GMHBR. I'm not too sure. My thing's not telling me it's broken, but I'm gonna tip Geelong to win this one. Extend the unbeaten run. If it's at GMHBA anyway, I'm gonna tip Geelong. I'm gonna tip them. Tip Geelong.
The second game on Saturday is Geelong versus Carlton at the MCG. So it's a hard one to tip, but I'm going to tip Carlton.
Next is Western Bulldogs versus Fremantle. This one's a bit of a tough game to pick. Western Bulldogs have been inconsistent, and Fremantle, they just play in first gear and struggle to get out of that, and they lost to West Coast. So I'm going to tip Western Bulldogs to win on the road. I think the Western Bulldogs will win this one by 2 goals.
The last game on Saturday is Fremantle versus the Western Bulldogs at Optus Stadium. Both these teams lost last week, but I'm tipping Freo.
Next we have Gold Coast versus West Coast. This one, I don't know, it could go either way. West Coast have played some really good footy for the last 2 weeks. Gold Coast, I haven't watched Gold Coast, so I couldn't care for Gold Coast. But West Coast obviously coming off 2 wins in a row, they're up and about. But I think Gold Coast will probably win this because it's in the Gold Coast.
First game on Sunday is Gold Coast versus West Coast. I'm going to tip Gold Coast.
Next is, the last game is Sydney versus Hawthorn. Hawthorn got their first win against against North Melbourne. But I think Sydney too strong, even though it's at the MCG or at least Hawthorn's home. I'm going to tip Sydney by 36 points, I think.
And the last game of the round is Hawthorn versus Sydney at the MCG. I'm tipping Sydney.
So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you next week with some more footy tips.